Ned Trewartha has been building the finest clinker dinghies I've ever seen for many years now down in Woodbridge, Tasmania. He didn't have a boat in the shed when I called in after the 2023 Australian Wooden Boat Festival in Hobart, but I'll let Ned explain what he does.
Well, we've been here in this workshop for about 6 years now, old apple packing shed. It was a blank space when we came in. So I've got to build another workshop. For 30 years before that, we were 10 minutes down the road. I never thought I'd leave there, but very happy to be here. I can do whatever I want here. I had to build a few clinker dinghies a year now because it's a very specialised market. Very small market. But there's still people who want them, and I'm happy to build them. But nowadays, I build more furniture and sculpture and a few ukuleles when time allows. And I don't like to be doing any one thing. And I'm fortunate in that respect because I don't work for anyone. The kitchen door's right there. This is my space. So I generally have multiple projects on the go. And I can go from one to the other. I get up in the morning and think, well, that's the one I'm going to work on. Coming up to this boat festival, just gone, I took on another exhibition at the same time, as if the boat festival wasn't enough. So then it became all of these jobs, all of these different, which I was enjoying them all, but which one have I got to get done today? And at the end of the day, you don't get all the things you want done usually, but you make progress. And that's a good thing, I've got time. And I enjoy it. As long as I'm making shavings and I've got my hands on each day, I enjoy it. And I'm fortunate, I've got a fair bit of timber together over the years. And our beautiful Tasmanian timbers. So I'm very selective about how I use them because they're very finite. Getting scarce, the Hugh and Pine and King Billy particularly. So I won't rush into a job and just pull out a bit of timber and cut it off and that's it. And then I've got another bit of timber that I'll find the right bit of timber for the job is what I'm trying to say. It's always there and it takes a bit more time, but I've got the time. So that's what I do. Build a few ukuleles, which is fun.
Yep.
This is one of my ukuleles. This is a bit of Tasmanian myrtle with a beautiful King Billy soundboard. And a bit of this microcories, tallow woods for the fretboard. And I played guitar for over 40 years and I wanted to build a guitar. And for some reason I was a little scared of taking that project on, and I thought I'll build a ukulele. I knew nothing about them, I hadn't played them. I got a plan and a little workshop manual, adapted it to suit me, made a few jigs, started building, and then I found, well, I've made the jigs, I'm not just going to build one, and I fell in love with them really. Beautiful to travel with, great to sing with. I can now, if I'm travelling on a plane, which I haven't done since before COVID, I can just put on a backpack, carry this on board, put it in the overhead locker, and they're beautiful things. Yeah, they're good fun little things. So that's one of the things I do, and I've got another little room out the back because building stringed instruments, it's really, humidity is important. You know, high or low humidity. The optimum is between 40 and 50%, so around 45%, sorry. So that means if you put it together and everything's stable at that sort of humidity, if it goes to a higher or lower humidity, it's not going to freak out.
Yep.
So if I built one where in winter here where it's 80, 90% humidity and it goes to somewhere where it's 15, 20, something like that, it's just, the timber's just, people think the timber once it's seasoned and aged it's not going to move, but it always will. I've got another little room out the back which is basically the size of about 2 wardrobes, and I've got some little eggs that suck the moisture out. Those climate eggs that they're designed for wardrobes, so they suck the moisture out and keep the humidity down. I can control the humidity in there basically. So I just prepare a lot of components when I feel like it. You know, bend some sides, do some backs, brace some backs and tops, get some neck blanks, and they sit out there for months. And then when I feel like it, I might put a couple together. So once again, it's no pressure. It's when I feel like doing it. Same with my furniture. If I haven't got paid work, so to speak, I've got a range of a few bits of furniture that I build, and then I just design and build other bits of furniture. And that's a pretty organic process too, because a lot of my furniture is designed around the bit of timber. If I've got a nice bit of timber that I think that's going to make a top, I don't want to cut it, it's the right width and length, so I'll design a bit of furniture to go under that rather than cut the timber and force it to a design. It's pretty organic, but then that piece of furniture will then develop, and I've got if it works, like this one here, this spider table, that's how that one was developed. I had a piece of hewing that size. I'm not cutting that up, and then there was a bit of steel lying out the back of that shape, and I just kept walking past, and one day I basically drew 4 lines, and I thought, yeah, that might work. But I like to put curves on things on the bottom of my furniture, and the 4 lines, one of those 4 lines was a curve under here, which is the only thing I changed about it, because I thought, no, it's just going to fight with the curve on the legs, and I didn't do it. So I kept that nice and straight. And it worked, the design worked, so I've developed it from there. Now I laminate a top up to that width. That piece there was developed the same way, had a nice big long bit of hewing that size, and that's how that piece, the same process. Which works for me. It's just, I'm as I said before, I'm really selective and really precious about the timber. I don't like waste. I also like to recycle timber wherever I can. Like this piece, for example, that's this piece here, and I built a number of these. They'll call that utility. Out of different timbers. Now this timber was a bit of Oregon from an old bit of farm machinery that was this amazing Heath affair. It was bits everywhere. The reason I wanted it, it had these beautiful 10x3 Oregon clear underneath as bearers, and I wanted it for dinghy spars. I bought the whole thing, and a mate was just down the road, and a mate drove it down on his tractor, and it took me years to put it apart. It was just the most amazing bit of joinery and sheet metal work. So it's just got this beautiful patina, and it's got the provenance, you know, it's got this age about it, which I love, and I love to expose rather than hide. And these panels are beautiful King Billy from old core sample trays from the mines, from the hard rock mines up on the west coast. Different sizes, as you know, they're beautiful things. I didn't know what I was going to do with them. I was up there playing at a music festival, and mates said, come out and have a look at the core compound. They're throwing these trays out. Now they'd be about 5 foot, and what they did was, when they go into a new drive, they go and rock drill, take out a core sample, lay it in these trays, and then stack them up, thousands and thousands, and put a number on the end so they could reference them later. So they must have been changing over to maybe I don't know, plastic or aluminium or something, but for some reason they were getting rid of these trays. Now there's a big pile of them. I didn't know what I could do with them. They're filthy, they got bits of rock stuck in them. So I loaded up, I got a ute load. When I was coming home, I just loaded my ute up. I wish I had got a truckload, because I've had them for probably 15 years and now I'm down to my last, literally half a handful. So I've built some really nice bits of furniture out of them over the years, like big pieces with full panels, and now the last few I've got left I've been very selective with. And I could reproduce them, but to me they don't have that provenance and they don't have that patina of age. So I'll find another way to do stuff. And I think, I'm not sure about this one. No, a lot of the panelling that I use inside is from old hardwood fences, fence palings. So when the grass grows up around the bottom of a hardwood fence and it stays there a long time, it gets wet and the bottom rots eventually after many years, and people pull them off and replace it with treated pine. Now those palings get thrown into a heap and mostly, probably nearly always get burnt because they don't see any value in it anymore. It's only that much on the bottom that's no good. The rest of it is beautiful seasoned timber, and wherever I can I get hold of that and reuse it. It's just, it's I really don't like to see waste, and that it shouldn't be allowed to happen. Here are some of them here, actually, some of those fence palings. These ones I'll just plane up the inside and get the inside smooth, but keep that lovely patina on the outside. Much better than firewood. That's probably it. And then when I have got time, it's usually late at night after I've had dinner and I'll come back out into the workshop, which is one of the good things about having the workshop so close to the house. Literally walk out the kitchen door. You can't get away from it, but it's always there. And I don't mind that. It's my space, it's where I'm comfortable. So at night I come out a lot and I'll just sit down and chip carve and carve birds. And I've got to think about birds, whether they're real or imagined. I love birds. And most of these pieces of timber come out of a big offcut bin from the boat building process, from knees, like this beautiful bit of hewing in there, came out of somewhere, like cutting out knees or a breasthook or something, and you can't throw that bit of timber away. That's just so beautiful. In the old days, the fellas, the old fellas, they'd cut a bit off, and what they didn't use would go straight into the fire, fuel the fire. But I'm far too precious about that. And it's a bit of fun. People like them.
Yep.
So this is my little Euchre, and it's all the space I need, really. So I can prepare, bits and pieces, as I was saying before, and I'll just put them in here, and then when I feel like it, I come in. I've got a bunch of necks there, ready to shape. Got some tops and some sides, and then when I feel like it, I can come in and do a bit. And it was basically made from offcuts of everything. The only thing I paid for, I think, was probably some slides. So I don't need much more space than this. And I got these things that were they've got little silica in there, and they're designed for wardrobes. And what they do, so that's pink now, so it's wet inside, it's full of moisture. But what they do is suck the moisture out of the air. And I thought, well, there's only a few wardrobes here, really. So I've got 4 of them in here. When it goes pink, that means, they're full of moisture. You can just put them in the microwave. It dries all the moisture out. Put them back in, they go blue again, and then they suck more out. So you can just keep using them. And that way I can control the humidity in here a bit, which is important. not too bad in here at the moment. It's 60%.
Do you have a dial or something to refer to? Or
I just got a little hygrometer.
Oh, yeah, yep.
So it's 18 degrees and 60% in here at the moment. I used to work in a lot of luthiers, well, you know, backyard luthiers, people making instruments, if they haven't got a place where they can dehumidify it all, they'll quite often work inside a wardrobe or a small cupboard. So you can, and I've got one around there, I now use it as my glue box, but I just build a cupboard like this and I put a 100-watt light globe in there. And it doesn't take long for the temperature, that the heat from the 100-watt globe to bring the temperature up and dry the air out. And I can get it to 20 degrees and between 40 and 50% humidity pretty quick. And then I glue up in there, and I had a little, I don't know if you've seen these, Liam, but just a real simple little go bar system. So I'm going to glue that bracing onto there, onto that thin top. You know, I don't want to be putting clamps around that. And it's called a go bar system. So I can put that on there, put a bit of glue on it, and then just
tom it down.
And it's a great system. You know, it's all and I can glue up a bunch of tops together like that, put them all on there, put those on, walk away. You don't need clamps.
Ned Trewartha builds the finest clinker dinghies and ukuleles and furniture that I've seen. And he's a top bloke who's really got his shit together. Good on you, Ned.